Durag Diaries. Now, with the Savinho deal off at this moment in time, Spurs are in the market for a left winger, and we have been looking around, scouring, searching, and it seems to be that we have landed on the left wing in Nigerian forward from Atlanta, who is currently available for 45 million euros, Ademola Lookman. It has been reported by numerous of sources at this moment in time that Tottenham have made an inquiry about Ademola Lookman. Also, Graham Bailey, another person, to say that Ademola Lookman camp had contacted Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham, City, and Villa in the last 48 moves after his Inter Milan move has collapsed. It has been reported heavily that Atlanta did not want this player to go to another title contender in the Serie A. So they are looking to pursue a move for him away from the league. Now, he's somebody who has played in the Premier League before, started off his career actually at Everton as a young player. Well, I should say Charlton, worked his way up the ranks before getting a move to Everton after a good season in League One. At Everton, sort of struggled to find his rhythm, never really had that threat in front of goal. He had the explosiveness, he looked good in moments, but really struggled to make his impact, to make a name for himself. So ended up making a move from Everton over to RB Leipzig in Germany, where he thought that he could sort of pick up his career again. And where he was there for a few years, came back on loan, had a few appearances at Leicester and then Fulham, or Fulham and Leicester, whichever way round it was. And after that move, you could see at Leicester, it was like, okay, this guy has got some talent there. He obviously had the failed Panenkas and so on, but there was clear talent to see. And he'd worked his way up to now being a sort of 22, 23-year-old. So now there's an expectation on him. Since he's been at Atlanta and he's working under Gianpiero Gasperini, he's taken him from a winger who was just explosive, direct, could take his man on a 1v1 to being a real goal threat, real goal-orientated player. In just the last season, scored 20 goals, had about 6 or 7 assists in all competitions, almost led Atlanta to their first Serie A title. Obviously, the year before that, he helped them win the Europa League, being the first player to score a hat-trick in the Europa League final, and he just went crazy in that game. But he's a player who's very dangerous. He's a player who you can understand why a lot of clubs would look at him and would look to pick him up. One of the problems that has been stated is his age. I know he's not an older player. I know a lot of people get into this thought that 27, 28-year-olds are now the new 32, 33-year-olds, which I don't think is the case. Now, I have spoken about the player before, and I made it very clear that I don't think that this is within Tottenham's age range, because we do look to sign players a bit younger. But when we look at what we're currently doing with the Eze deal, there's no reason why Spurs won't go out there and get another mature player. We do have Odegaard, we do have Tell coming through on that left-hand side, so it might actually be smarter to do some business and bring him in a more experienced player who knows going to guaranteed start on that left wing and bring that proven quality. In the last couple of years, the one thing that's always been key as well is he doesn't get a lot of injuries. He's not a player that picks up a lot of injuries. He's a player that's always available, has consistently played about 30 games every season. And one of the only times that he has actually been unavailable over the last couple of years was due to just, ankle sprains. He's had a few muscular injuries, but nothing major. No major injuries. Across the last year as a total, he's only missed 8 or 9 games. So he's a player that's constantly available, constantly around for the team. And when you look at his all-round style, it just sort of, I think it works what we're looking for. We need a player that can be adaptable. We know with Thomas Frank's system, he likes to use all of his attackers across multiple positions, because Kudus might come inside, Brennan Johnson might go on the left, he might play on the right. And Ademola Lookman has experience playing in all of these positions. When you look at his stats across his whole career, he's played 62 games on the right wing, 83 games on the center, and in the attacking midfield role, nearly 100 games in attacking midfield, nearly 100 games on the left wing, and also like 40 games in central forward. So he's a player that's played across multiple positions, and he can be a backup, but also be, your go-to option in that left wing and striker position. But again, for Frank in this system, he likes his wingers that can go on the touchline, pure touchline wingers that can isolate the fullbacks and create chaos all by themselves. Exactly what we saw Kudus do in that Burnley game. He's excellent, Lookman, excellent at carrying the ball in the transition, offering Frank that counter-attacking ability that we need, and saw what we lacked in some games, having that on the left-hand side throughout pre-season. Whenever you start and tell Odegaard or Johnson, as much as they can be outlets and they can be good, I don't think they create as much chaos as a Kudus will, and that helps having two players like that on the pitch. And let's have it right, Spurs might be back to black excellence. Lookman, Eze, Kudus. We've got two of Africa's best wingers. Nigeria on the left side, Ghana on the right side. We're going to have to settle the beef because over in Tottenham, we want both sets of jollof rice. I want both sets. I'm greedy. I'm just saying it now. This could be a real dangerous outlook of a team. When you talk about, you know, his work rate, one thing about Ademola Lookman is he's constantly working hard off the ball. He tracks back, he's a high presser, and he doesn't shy away from duels. So when you're looking at what you need to bring to this system, he's a player he's got the willingness to sacrifice and to really put in that work and effort that will match, you know, what Thomas Frank requires from his team. And like we've talked about earlier, he is a consistent goal threat at this moment in time. He scores in big games. He's been relied upon for Atlanta to get them through big moments. And in the Champions League last year, scored 5 goals. He's still, you know, he's 27. He turns 28 this year. So still, if you sign him on a 4-year contract, still has his best years ahead of him. Now, there is questions regarding whether he can transition his style into the Premier League. And also with him being a right-footed inside forward, I'm not sure if in particular Frank wants that. When we were looking at Savinho and we can compare the two players, it was sort of clear to see that Savinho, he wanted him so he could play on the left side because he can effectively cross the ball, beat his man and get round to the byline. When you look at the two players in a comparison matrix, you can see the similarities and as to why they would be two wingers that Spurs are looking at in particular. Now, one thing that Ademola Lookman absolutely surpasses Savinho at is on the goal side of things. His non-penalty goals is 97.1 as opposed to 9.5, sorry. But again, when you look at the dribbles, very close. They've 92.5, 95.9, two players that excel in the dribble, and also the carry, 88 percentile, 98 percentile. Savinho is one of the best in world football at this moment in time in carrying and dribbling the ball. Ademola Lookman is not so far behind, but where Ademola Lookman does also excel just that little bit more than him is with his crossing. His crossing is 91.6 crosses completed, but then again, he's also got decent numbers for key assists and passes. So very similar to Savinho, obviously a player of a much older profile, is going to be coming at a cheaper rate, around 15 to 20 million pounds cheaper than what Savinho would. So when looking at getting this deal done, there's no problems as to why Spurs can't get this deal done. I would be all for Lookman signing as much as I would prefer Savinho. There's no doubt about that. I've been going on record to say I want boo chat at my club, you know. Bring me some Joga Benito. Let me salsa when I'm scoring the goal. I need all of that business. But at the same time, I'm also down for some pounded jam and a goosey soup. You know what I mean? I'm down. I'm down for some amapiano. Yeah, I'm down for all of that stuff. I'm down. So Ademola Lookman, still a top baller, still a top player, and he's still someone that I would very much look at to improve this team if we cannot get Savinho. And I can see why Spurs are looking at getting this deal done. But big up to everyone inside, big up to everyone that has been watching. We are real close to 4K. We're on the final 100 countdown. We said at the start of the month that we want to get there before the end of the month, so we are doing amazing to be on the last 100 with 10 or 11 days to go of the month. So I appreciate everyone for the support so far. It has been amazing. It's been truly humbling, and we are real close to reaching our goals. 5K is going to be hitting real soon, definitely before the end of the year. So make sure you are subscribed to the channel, smash a like on the video. Don't take a second, it don't cost a thing. And make sure you go to the comments. Let me know your thoughts on Ademola Lookman signing. Is he the left winger replacement that we need in case of Savinho? Let me know your thoughts. Big up to everyone for watching Durag Diaries. Until next time, it's your boy. We are out.